13th year of streaming. Woo! That's a long time. That makes me old. Shit. I'm one of the old people now. Ah, damn. Damn. I didn't think about that. What's that? 13 gift subs? Well, yes. Ah, damn, Moobot. Gotta turn off Moobot, I'm sorry. My fault. Bum, 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 bum. Did those not go through? Okay, let's see. Freeze crash. Bum, bum, bum. There you go, 13 gift subs for chat. Enjoy. Superdome, thank you for 15-month resub. Appreciate that. Dance remoted from tween to teen. No. More like going from Zoomer to Boomer. It's like, boop. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, we Dan old now. Back in my day when I started on Justintv, you couldn't make any money. There wasn't subs, there wasn't ads, there was just nothing. The best, and then eventually one day someone made an app called Chip In where you could set goals and people could donate through PayPal and give you some money. And that was the only way to get money. And people just decided to hand you like dollar bills here and there. And then I think it was like a year and a half to 2 years after I started, then they introduced the Justintv back then partner program where you could run ads on your channel and earn money. Woo! My first paycheck was $10. Actually, I don't remember. I think you had to have like $100 minimum. So it took several months to get to the point where I could pay out that measly, tiny, paltry ad revenue in the very, very beginning of... It was like, this month you've earned $3.47 on Justintv and ads. This is back when I had like a couple hundred viewers at a time, maybe. And then the ads were pretty limited, so it was like very little amounts of money. And I remember about a year or two after that, then they launched the beta of the subscriptions, which they started with Day 9. They gave him the first ever subscription button. And they had a coupon for the first month where you could get a free sub, entirely free, because they wanted to test the system, to his channel. So 100% free. So they got to test it out. And it worked. It worked really good. People liked it. There weren't emotes yet. That was a later thing. So basically, you just subscribed to because you liked the streamer, and then I think it removed ads. I think it removed ads back in the day as well. So it removed ads, and you just subbed because you liked the streamer. And then later down the line, after they first they did Day 9, and then they did a batch of 100 people. They did a batch of 100 people to add them to the partner program, and I wasn't on the list. I was like, Mr. Justintv Gaming, sir, my king, can I please have one of the brand new partner programs, please, and I will be very happy. And it's like, we're like, oh, sure, yeah, okay, oh, yeah, we were sorry, we'll put you on there, fine, sure. And so I thankfully, because I asked, I got to be put on the I was like 101 because they added me as a bonus on there to the partner program, and that was fun. I think from the partner program, I got like maybe, I think there was 10 subscribers in the first month. Then it dropped to 5 the next month, and it's like, woo! It was like a little bit of money. It was nice. Because I was working full time, and I just was doing streaming in the evenings after I come home from work. And that was just, so for about, from 2009 to 2014, I was working full time, 8 hours a day, seven days a week. Sometimes I had to work overtime, a lot of the time, and then come home and stream full time. Another 8 hours of streaming. So it was like 8 hours at work, 8 hours of streaming. Well, sometimes it was 5 hours or 4 because sometimes I was tired. It was exhausting. I remember taking days off of work on big game releases so that way I could stream from home. And one day I did that, and the creepiest thing ever happened. I called in sick from work, and I was at home streaming, and someone called my work and talked to my boss and said, hey, this person's not really sick. You should look at his stream here because he's actually at home streaming. And I was like, that was the creepiest. Someone like took the time. I didn't say where I worked. Someone took a lot of clues and a lot of like and figured out where I worked and then called my work and snitched on me, like online. Like, what? Do you know how creepy that is? That you watch someone that much and then, because that means that to have that kind of information, they'd have to watch a lot, and to do that, it means they didn't like me. So they were watching all the time someone they don't like, just to cause them a bad time. It was like who has the why would you spend that much time watching something that you don't like or someone you don't like just to get your opportunity to be like, aha. Did you get fired from your job? No. My boss was like, what do you want me to do about it? Why are you calling me? He was basically what he says, like, why are you calling me? And the guy's like, I just don't like people calling up where. That's how the world works, people. If we did not in our minimum wage jobs have the ability to call off sick when we're not sick just to have a goddamn mental break day, a lot of us would go insane. So thank God for calling in sick, because of all the times we've done that just to give yourself a goddamn break from the grind and overworkedness that they'd put on your back for minimum wage usually, or very small pennies in income. Just like you sometimes just need a time out, otherwise you lose your shit. But yeah, that was creepy. But yeah, so what was I saying? I got sidetracked by that. I still have a lot of about that, like. But yeah, I worked full time for several years, and then streamed full time, and then eventually, I don't know what happened, but one day I was going from 200, 300 viewers a day to like 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, and it's just like this very long period, years of like no growth, and all of a sudden it started just going upward, and I don't know what happened, when it happened, why it happened, but it just started going up a little bit here, a little bit there. I never grew as fast as everyone else, but I've been like this very slow, little like, a little bit better, a little bit more year after year. Just a little more. Some people are like, you know, straight up spike. They go whoop overnight. But I've always been like this steady little bit more, a little bit more, build up. And all of a sudden, I was making as much money at my minimum wage job as I was with the stream. And I was like, it just like, they evened out. I was like, wait, what? I was like, I'm making as much money here as I'm working here. This one's really fun. This one I fucking hate. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to give it 3 months. And if it stays the same, then I will think about cutting back to part-time. But no, like a few months later, it went like this. And I was like, what's happening? Then I was making more than I was making on my minimum wage job. I'm like, what? And then I was like, okay. Then it was like, I think March in 2013. I was like, okay, boss, I'm going to cut back to part-time. Because you are rude. You don't treat me right. You overwork me. I hate you. I didn't say any of that. I was in here, but I was just like, oh, Mrs. Smith, I think her name was, could I please, I'm going to cut back to part-time because, you know, I now have a side job and I don't need as many hours. And I just want to have like this, you know, back pocket, like just in case this started to go woo. Because I don't trust, like, it's like, you know, sometimes things go up and then they crash. But it just stayed steady and it kept going up a little bit at a time. And then I went back to part-time at my job and then kept working streaming, and I was just making more than I was making, a lot more than I was making at my minimum wage job. And my mental health was so much better. I was so much happier. I was so much free of the shackles of this terrible job. And then one day they called me and said, can you come in Saturday? I said, sure. And then I woke up Saturday and I said, you know what? Fuck that place. And I just never called them or went back there ever again. And from that point on, I was full-time streamer. And luckily, thank God, the income stayed steady. And I've been able to do this full-time for 7 years now. I've been full-time streaming for 7 years. Took 6 years to get to that point, but I've now been full-time for 7 years. Thanks entirely to the generous people that watch the stream and decide to put up with shitty ads. I know no one likes ads, but you put up with the shitty ads. Some of you even go further, way beyond, and you subscribe, which is crazy to me. I'm still baffled every time someone subscribes. It's just amazing to me. And then I remember about 4 or 5 years ago, I think it was 6. No, was it 5? Amazon bought Twitch, and then a little bit after they did that, they're like, here, have Prime Gaming money, everybody. Here, have the money. And we were like, what? Then everyone's income that went up to a point that a lot more people could go full-time streaming because the Prime Gaming boosted most people's subscription counts by like 30, anywhere from 10 to 50% more subscriptions from Prime Gaming. And it's like, it made I don't know, to a relatively stable like income source for a lot more people now. Oh my God, there's so many of you guys. So thank you, Jono, Mathgrim, Xcovaz, Didac, Vampire Clone, Pyfillin, Reedy, Wakeif, Garthenix, Phelps, Superdome, Straw Booty, Nacky Knock, Superdome, Metarum, iTattoo, Mr. PTM. Thank you for those subs, guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. Mayo and Rice, thank you as well. You didn't know it was that big? Yes. It was called Twitch Prime back in the day. But yeah, Prime Gaming, Twitch Prime, it made a lot of people that weren't able to do full-time on just the regular subscription counts to being able to do it because there was just a little bit of a boost, just enough to like maybe cover your rent, or maybe you can cut down hours at work or something. It was great for a lot of people. A lot of people were able to go do it full time that weren't before, because that Prime. That's why we mentioned Prime's gaming so much and Twitch Prime so much, because it's such an important income source to most people, and it comes right from Amazon, which is great. That's the best part about the Amazon buyout, was the Prime gaming thing. That single-handedly was a game changer for Twitch and streamers. It was the best thing they ever did, and still to this day the best thing they've ever did. And having more time to stream usually means more subs. Sometimes. There's some statistic that says there's some statistic like the first 4 hours of your stream tend to get more subscriptions and stuff than anything after that. I don't know. I heard that from somewhere. There was a study. Someone like took a bunch of streams and like tested how many subs and gifts that they got in the first 4 hours of the stream versus than every hour after that. And it seemed like the first 4 hours was like the golden point where most things happen that first 4 hours. So a lot of people that could only stream a couple hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, were able to hit that 4 hour mark. And yeah, you tend to get more subs the more often you stream, the longer you stream. Pally like Games on the Mind, thank you very much. Linux is with a brand new sub. Smurfing Smurfer, Forfane, Rat Scapula, Pseudonoms, thank you. I've been here at the beginning of Justintv, and I got to see the site go from. In the beginning, Justintv was just the gaming portion of. Justintv had a gaming section, and then they had movies and sports and live casting and stuff, and the gaming section was just video games. And then, the other there was. The just chatting section nowadays is what I think it was called live streaming. Not live, but life, where you would just stream your life. That's what and then there was movies and sports games and stuff that weren't supposed to be on the site, but they were. But it was kind of like early internet. People didn't really know what copyright and DMCA and stuff. People weren't really educated on, what's allowed and what's not allowed, and so people were doing things they weren't supposed to. But I was streaming here in the gaming section, this little corner here, and then one day someone had an idea. What if we took the gaming section of Justintv, rebrand it, and separate it from Justintv, and call it Xanadu, or what? There was some weird ass name in the beginning, but they settled on Twitch eventually. But it was going to be called, it's twitch.tv. It was still Justintv. It was still the gaming section of Justintv. It was on the same servers. It was just a different website. So you go to twitch.tv/ the stream, and it would go right to this new rebranded website called Twitch instead of Justintv. Then there was no connection. The reason they did that is because they were having a hard time getting advertisers and stuff and legit businesses interested in Justintv because of all these, naughty people over here doing the naughty stuff with the, illegal movies and stuff. So they separated them out so that way they would be separate entities. And it wasn't, the gaming industry didn't quite embrace Twitch at first. I remember there was a little bit of a bumpy road. The start of Twitch was also the start of the esports boom. And I remember I had a passionate hatred for esports. Not because of anything about esports, but because every time there'd be an esports tournament on the weekends, the servers would be freaking insanely bad, and like chats would stop working, streams would stutter, like it would crash the site like every single weekend. The esports would come on, and then no one could stream, And there's like this divide between esports people and the streamers, and there was a lot of friction there because they kept crashing the site. And then eventually they offloaded esports events onto their own servers, and then that fixed that problem. But in the beginning, there was all kinds of weird like chat issues and stream issues every time there was a sports tournament on. So I've been here, as I say, I've been here since the beginning. So I've seen the gaming industry go from, I don't know, I would, back in 2012, 2011, 2014, like, I think it was 2011, 2010, I would send emails to a bunch of PR people at game studios, and they're like, you know, hi, I'm a streamer on Justintv or twitchtv, and I have this many viewers, and I would like a free code to your game, and I will stream it, and then I will tell people to go buy your game. And they were like, kindly fuck off. They were like, sorry, we can't do that. Don't stream our game. Please don't stream our game. Permission denied. That kind of stuff. Like, it was like, ooh. EA was the rudest about it. I remember EA people were very rude about streaming, and I was like, can I please have permission to stream your game, and could you possibly send a giveaway code where permission denied in caps. You may not stream our game. Like, I just want to stream The Sims. So eventually, there was a lot of growing pains. I remember LA Noire came out, and Take-Two was issuing takedown notices to everyone streaming that game. They were like, takedown, no, take it down, DMCA. And then Twitch had to contact Take-Two, which Take-Two's the company that owns Grand Theft Auto, by the way. And Twitch had to be like, okay, this is what Twitch is. This is how it works. This is how you're going to benefit from it. And then they were like, okay, fine. They can stream it. Fine. We're going to lose so many sales. And then they let us stream LA Noire. And then their sales went, rip. They're like, oh, we like that. We like that. More sales? What? Yeah, like, what? We get more sales if people stream our game? We love this. And so eventually the gaming industry learned that, wait a minute, letting these people stream this game is actually highly beneficial to us, because apparently when we release all these trailers that are, you know, not representative of the real game, people distrust us? They don't trust our trailers? What? After we've got caught red-handed several times making very misleading trailers, suddenly there was no trust anymore? What? And so people want to see the game for themselves without any filtering or editing. They just want to see the game and then make their purchase decision. They're like, oh, okay. I know, it's like, that was, during that time period was when the game industry was at its worst about trailers for games that were not like the game at all. Like, I remember the Killzone, was it Killzone 2? Was an entirely CGI trailer that wasn't in-engine at all, but it looked like it was gameplay, and people were pissed when they played it, and it was nothing like that. And I remember several games in that time period were just like, here's what the game is going to look like, and then you play it, and you're like, it's nothing like that. You're like, ugh. So people were kind of getting tired of that stuff happening, so they just wanted to see the gameplay. And then YouTube videos are heavily edited usually, so people just want to see a raw gameplay footage of games. And Twitch was the only place that was really big. There were a couple smaller sites that are doing it too, but Twitch was the big one that was like, people could go and watch a game and see the game as it is without, like, you know, people can talk over and stuff, but you can see the game. You can see it being played and see exactly what it is. And then get an idea of what it is. And then, if it's good, you're going to go buy that shit. Watching is great, but a game is meant to be played, you know? Like movies, you watch a movie, you've seen a movie, done. TV shows, same thing. With a game, playing it and watching it are very different experiences. Some games you just want to watch. You just want to watch it and then get the story and never play it. But you weren't going to buy that game anyways. Like, the chances of you actually buying that game are very low. And games that but what happens more often than not is chat is kind of skeptical on a game. like, let's say you're scheduled for a game. You go to a live stream, and then you're like, you watch it, and you're like, wait a minute, this actually looks fun. And then you're like, oh. And after watching for an hour or two, you're like, you know what? This looks pretty fun. I think I might buy this. And if you don't buy it, then you wait for it to go on sale. And so that's how it works. Is people watch skeptically and then like, ooh, this actually looks fun, and then they go and buy it, and they weren't going to buy it originally. And that's where that big boost comes with sales, and that's why people like the game industry now loves streamers and loves using us to advertise because it just works. And I've gone from where I sent emails to people in the gaming industry and they were like, no, what is this, to now they email me and I tell them no. I say, no, I'm not playing your game. It looks stupid. You're like, aha. So it went full circle. And now I'm the one that tells them no. I don't say no. Sometimes people like they go from saying no to now I get to tell them no. The tables, there's so many people wanting streamers to play stuff now that it's oh, thank you, Brandon, for the 6 gift subs. Oh, sorry, 50 gift subs. Banana Striker for 1,000 bits. Brutal Barbie 55. Anthony 500 bits. Onana with 5 gift subs. Ocean Stelic with 30 gift subs. Mushix 4mm. Kantai, Storm, Lauron. Thank you very much, guys. Yes, I was saying, like, I've gone from asking people through emails to try to get a free code to them wanting me to stream their game and giving me free codes, and then go even to the point of paying me money to stream it. What? In 10 years. Like, they come to me and offer me money to play a game for them. And not to say it's good, not to just to play it and let people see it. It's like, what? It's just like, so how drastically different the industry is now versus 10 years ago. Especially 13 years ago when it was Justintv time. It was like, what? It's crazy. And then people also keep sending me physical stuff. Like, we're gonna unbox this later. But look at this cute little plushie for the Cultist game coming up. Isn't that adorable? Woo, that box, woo. Inside that box is a smell. That is, whew, smells like chemicals. Yeah, so I've been here since the beginning. I've watched streamers and the game industry all like go from the Wild West to now things are kind of like, it's like a business now. Like it's streamlined, and people understand the value that people give, that people understand like how streaming benefits game developers, how game developers can benefit streamers, and how it's an ecosystem where everyone wins. And it's just been such a fun ride. Because when I started back in Justintv, you couldn't make money. There was no money to be made. You did it because it was fun. It was a fun little hobby. Like, I remember exactly how I discovered Twitch too. I was on YouTube, and I was watching a video. It was from this site called 4Player Podcast. It was on YouTube, and it was a video about a bear rolling down a hill in Oblivion, and the guy was screaming something about barrel roll, and I saw on the little top of this little video it said Justintv, like in a thumb mark. I was like, what? Justin, I thought his name was Justin, and that was like his like logo or something. But then later, I Googled Justintv and I realized that it was a site where people were live streaming, and I was like, what? And so for like the first 2 weeks, I was just watching people as I was playing World of Warcraft. Let's like put someone on, watch them in the background. And this was back before HD streaming. This was like, you were lucky if a stream was 360p. You were lucky if it was 240p sometimes. Now all you with your 1080p, oh my stream's too blurry. Oh my God, you would not have survived back at Justintv when the streams were 360p, and you had to, based on context clues, figure out what you were watching if there was too much action on screen because it was all blurry. We back in the day, like, so I went to a WoW streamer called Katarina. I believe she's still around, and she was streaming WoW, and on the bottom of her stream she had a little like tutorial there on how to use this thing called Flash Media Encoder. Oh my God, all the stress just came back remembering that program. So there's a program called Flash Media Encoder, and that was what you used to stream with back in the day. And what was great about Flash Media Encoder is that if you accidentally alt-tabbed over to it, your whole stream key would show and people could stream to your channel and they could broadcast something not family friendly and get your channel instantly banned. And then there wasn't much of a support system on Justintv, so it would take sometimes weeks to get unbanned, if they even let you get unbanned. So rewinding, so Flash Media Encoder was dangerous, and it was funky, and it was super performance intensive, like in how it worked. So you had to you had to use a separate program to capture your monitor, and then you fed that into Flash Media Encoder, and then you would stream out. And it was clunky, didn't really work too well, but thank God, like 5 years later, someone came to the and made a program called, oh God, OBS came after this. It was the paid one. What's the streaming program that XSplit? Yeah, XSplit came in and they made a free at the time program that just blew Flash Media Encoder out of the water. XSplit was amazing. It was so good, and it was streamlined everything, and it was safe to use. It would hide your stuff in there so that people couldn't see it if you actually alt tab to it. And it still exists to this day. And it's still around, and a lot of people still use it. It's just that now they're more of a paid program, and they have a lot of great features and stuff that we're paying for. But unfortunately for them, and fortunately for us, a program on the side here came out called OBS, and OBS was entirely free, open source. Anyone could see the code, and it was a shared universe. So OBS came out years after XSplit started charging a yearly fee, which is not much on XSplit, just a little bit, but it was a yearly fee. OBS came out, and it was not great at first, but it got there. And I say that OBS and XSplit are pretty even nowadays. They're both very, very on par with each other. XSplit has a couple of nice features if you're looking for something paid and a little streamlined. It's kind of like Android and iPhone. There's like a premium one and then a open source one. So it's kind of like that. There's like two big competitors: open source and paid service. But yeah, they both were very nice, and it was going from Flash Media Encoder to that was just such a difference. It's such a performance because it ran so much easier. You could play games. I remember there was a stipulation in their capture program. I could not play a single game in full screen for about 3 years. I had to window every single game and window full screen, because if it wasn't windowed, it would capture weird in XSplit, and it wouldn't quite. Their window capture system did not work in a lot of games if it was full screen, so you had to window every game. And there were certain games I couldn't stream because I couldn't get them to go into a window. So that was a hurdle. But eventually, capture cards started coming into the picture. where you could capture and also stream into a capture it in real time. AverMedia was like the first one I used. They came out with a little capture card that could capture in 720p, and then you could start streaming console games easier. You could do it before, but it was a complicated process. But capture cards made that process much easier, where you could just capture and stream them. And now I use Elgato. Elgato's 4K 60. I can't believe I can capture in 4K now. Back in the day, 720p was hard. Now it's like 4K, and now I'm like, why can't I capture in 8K? I want to capture in 8K. But like 10 years ago, I was struggling to capture 720p. I remember the day I went, I streamed in HD for the first time, 720p, and that was like, whoa, and we're so impressed. Now 1080p is been out for a long time, and now we're like, when's 4K coming? Good thing you had a laptop for chat back then. That was another thing. You had to have a separate monitor, because eventually I learned how to do a 2 PC setup, so I could play on one game. Now that's what I do nowadays. I play on one PC, capture on the other, so that way I can play any game in full screen or whatever, and it just captures perfectly and beautifully. By feeding it into a capture card and then streaming PC, and then having the streaming PC feed to a monitor through the outward port, and it's just great now. It's more about streaming quality than anything right now. Yeah, streaming nowadays is like, it's amazing that you can, like, I can't express to you how many more streamers there are nowadays than there were in 2009. In 2009, there was maybe 200, 300 streamers at a time. Like, maybe, there might be even a high estimate. And maybe a few thousand total. And nowadays, there are, I think, 30 million, 20 million streamers that have ever streamed, and then at any given time there's at least 1 million streams on Twitch. Like, there are so many streamers nowadays. Just insane, just how many more. Granted, 99% of streams nowadays have 0 to 1 viewers. Very few have more than that. So, if you feel bad, some people are streaming and they have like maybe 100 viewers and they feel really bad about themselves for that. You're still better. You're still you have more viewers than 99% of the site if you have over 1 viewer, because there's so many people streaming, and like trying, and that's what makes streaming nowadays a bit harder for a lot of people, because when you first start, you are in a sea of zeros and ones. Just a massive ocean of zeros and ones out there. And to get out of that is quite an accomplishment, because it's just so much saturation nowadays. But yeah, it's just, the vibe has changed on Twitch too over the past 10 years. In the beginning, everyone knew each other. Everyone knew who each other was, because there weren't that many. There was a few hundred. Sure, you weren't friends with everyone. You didn't even know anyone that well, but you knew of them. And when you go, you would, like, there was a little bit of fighting here. Someone didn't like this person. Someone didn't like that person. Little thing here and there. It wasn't too much drama. Nowadays, a bit different. I would say the, because there's just so many streamers nowadays, the vibe has gotten to be a bit more kind of like how if you're in an office building and you see another person in an office building and you're like, hello, hey, how's it going? How's it going? You know, how you doing? How's the kids? You know, that kind of like hallway bumping each other kind of talk to them. You don't really know the other person. You just know you work in the same building. It's kind of that kind. There's so many now. There's so many streamers that knowing them all is just not feasible. You just can't know everyone. There's too many. You know some of them well, and you know friends with some of them, but maybe 10, 20 that you know really well. But there's still thousands of others that I go on the front page of Twitch and I'm like, I see all these people and I'm like, I don't know half of these people anymore. I used to know all the top streamers and who they were and what they streamed stuff, but there's just so many nowadays. I don't know, like, and not to mention it was mostly a U.S. site, like in the early days of Justintv. They've done a very good job of spreading globally now. So there's people in Spain and China and Japan and like I shouldn't know about China, but Russia, India, like Brazil, like there's streamers everywhere speaking all kinds of languages, and it's just so you have all those in addition to the English streamers. There's just a massive pool of streamers now from all languages. And it's good to see, like, it used to be nothing but English speaking people in the top, like, category. But nowadays, a lot of categories are dominated by other languages. And it's great to see that there's so many people around the world embracing Twitch and live streaming and stuff. It's kind of awesome. Dan, why do you think you do so well at this, apart from your dashy good looks? I don't know. If anyone tells you that they know why some streamers do better than others outside of very basic like information, they don't. I don't know why. Like, there are some people on Twitch that are very entertaining, very good streamers, very consistent. They check all the boxes of all the rules, streaming this many hours every day, they're playing the popular games, and they just don't take off, and I don't know why. Like, they play the right games, they're very entertaining to watch, they just don't explode for some reason. And there's other people that I've seen that I click on, like they'll have like 10,000 viewers or something, and I click on them and I'm like, I don't understand why they have so many viewers. For me personally, you know, everyone's different. Just because you don't like one streamer's streaming style doesn't mean that they're bad, just means it's not for you. Some people I can like look at and just be like, you know, I don't understand. I get why this person's popular, but it's just not for me. But some people, I don't even know that. I look at myself, I'm like, I don't even know why I get the amount of viewers I do. I'm like, I worry that I'm boring, because I'm an introvert. I don't collab with other streamers very much because I'm very shy. I get very, 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 very quiet if I'm on a call with someone, because I don't know what to say, and I'm worried about what I'm going to say, and I'm worried that if I say something, they'll judge me, and then I'll feel bad about myself, and then I'll worry about it for days on end afterwards that I said the wrong thing. Now they hate me. That's just how my brain works. I'm very, very antisocial and shy and awkward, and I'm very panicky about being in social situations because I don't know what to say. I'm worried about what's going to happen, and so I break the rule about collabing. You're supposed to collab to grow. I broke that rule. I've been doing fine. I don't know. It's weird. Another rule, you're supposed to be very loud, engaging, or constantly talking. Just no dead air, no dead air, no dead air. I break that rule too all the time. Sometimes I forget. I'm like, oh wait, I forgot. You collab a bit? That's what I said, a bit. Not much. Once in a while. Once in a while I'll be on Drop Frames. And I did the D&D thing for a while, but outside of that, not much. I don't just randomly drop into. I don't play any multiplayer games because I'm worried that if I mess up in a multiplayer game, they're gonna make fun of me, and then they'll hate me, and then then I won't have any friends anymore when I go to school tomorrow. I still have like the trauma from my childhood is still there. I'm still like I get so nervous about people not liking me that I usually don't say anything because I'm worried if I say something, I'm bothering them. Or I'll bore them and they'll hate me, so I just don't say anything. That's just how it typically am. With D&D, I can be someone else, and that's great. So I can be a different person from myself, so they'll like the character, not me. It's not me, it's the character. that's why I'm able to talk more when it's, you know, a character, because it's not me saying this thing, it's this character. If they hate the character, that's fine. It's the character. That's not me. Or hate the character. I know. They love or hate the character. That's them. That's the character, not me. You're relatable? Yeah. You're the same way at 36? Yep. Some of us just introverts. I'm very, very, very introverted. I do my best when I'm by myself. If I have to talk to someone else, I'm like, hello. How are you? This game is great. Shall we collab? Laugh out loud. Ha 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 ha. Yes. This game is available on Xbox Marketplace. I don't know. I've never been able to be comfortable around talking with people. And this is how my brain works, okay? If I'm in a group of people and I'm able to talk with them and have a good time and like laugh and tell funny stories and entertaining, when I'm done and leave that situation, I'm like, oh, thank God. I was able to fool them into thinking that I was sociable for 10 minutes. Whew. Oh, I tricked them. That's how my brain works. It's like, oh, I didn't do that. I tricked them into not realizing that I'm horrible, or, you know, it's like I think they call that imposter syndrome. Like, aha, I fooled them. I wasn't actually sociable. I tricked them into thinking I was. Aha. Good. Is anyone like this where when you're in a group of people, you are frantically in your mind worrying and trying to think about what I'm going to say next so you don't hear what people are saying all the time, because you're just like, God, what am I going to say? I don't know what to say. I already talked about the thing. Well, God, what am I going to... how about, God, the weather! How about that rain the other day? Okay, oh, God, okay, what's the next one? Oh, God, weather, no, we did that, And it feels, like, exhausting in your head, because it's like, thank you, Banana Fish, for the 3-year resub. Yeah, and then I usually spend so much time worrying about what I'm going to say that I don't really end up saying anything. Or, I just like to listen. I'll just sit there and listen to everyone. I'm just like... And they're like, you're so quiet. I'm like, oh, I was just listening to everyone. I didn't have anything to say. I was just listening. I like to listen. Sometimes I just intently listen. I like to listen to people talk. I love to just sit there and listen to other people talk. I don't like to talk myself. I just like to sit there and listen to others do it. It's way easier for my brain if I don't have to say anything. Like for Kevin, it took me several months before I could just relax and talk to him. He's one of the few people I can actually talk to. Just talk to. It takes a long time for me to get over my fear about talking to, or needing to talk, or, you know. It takes, once I get there with someone, it's okay, but it takes me a long time. Like, and if I don't talk to someone for a while, I lose that and I have to, like, relearn it again. Like, when I go on drop frames, like, I know Zeke, I know JP, I know Ko, like, they're all nice guys, but when I'm on there, sometimes I'm like, cool. Because I'm just like, what am I going to say? 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 What am I going to have to say? Something. I cut turns coming. I got to say something. I got to talk. I got to say something. I got to talk. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh, God. Oh, I'm like just in my head, like, oh, God. Then I'm going to start getting exhausted. Yes, I just get like, oh, God, I don't know what I'm going to say. Do you talk to us? it's weird because I can like, there's some comfort in the fact that I can talk to chat because I don't see your face. There's no one, so it's just like I'm talking to myself, but at words that are on a screen. There's some, and then I have the safety and comfort that if I get scared or startled, I can just click on a name and then poof, they are gone forever. Just gone, poof. There's something about that where I can make something, I can escape a situation if I start feeling threatened, uncomfortable, very quickly. It's taken me years and years and years and years, and I'm still working on it. Like, if a developer for a game is in chat, I panic, and I freak out, and then I get very quiet because I don't know what to say because I'm nervous. And I'm slowly getting over that, but it's still like, I still get very nervous. I'm like, oh God. And then if they tell me a dev team is all watching me together, I'm like, I panic, shut down. I like, oh God. It's very uncomfortable for me. I get very like, oh God. Like, thanks so much for a good sub. You're welcome. I know, Dev in chat. Uh-oh. I talk about games with other people. That's my common ground as an introvert. Yeah, like, if I can talk about games, I'm good. I can talk about games. When I'm in a social situation, I panic if someone asks me something I don't know. When I went back to home for my mom's funeral last year, I met a lot of family members that I haven't met in a long time. And Kevin met them for the first time. And then I realized just how toxic, unhealthy, and traumatic parts of that family could be, and how growing up with them still affects me to this day. Like, my distrust of people is because my family did a lot of shady stuff to each other all the time when I was a kid, and I saw them betray and backstab each other all the time. And to me, that was just life. But now, my fear and distrust of people I don't... When I see a stranger on the street, I assume that that person is there to cause me harm or to betray me, or it's just an instinct I have because I grew up in a situation where it happened all the time with people that your family that's supposed to be there and trust them and love them. Like, they would betray each other all the time and do shady stuff that as a kid, I didn't realize it affected me that much. And when I went home to my mom's funeral, I realized why I'm still to this day so panicky and shameful that I'm gay, because I'm still working through that, because I just in the couple hours of my mom's funeral, multiple people said some very homophobic things to me and my boyfriend subtly that I realized I heard that shit all the time as a kid, and it made me ashamed and fearful of who I was and terrified. Absolutely terrified that, like, I was going to hell. I was like, I'm a bad person. I should repent, and like, how dare I, like, living a life of sin and just horrible, like, multiple times, like, just in a couple hours at my mom's funeral, for fuck's sake. Like, what? So I'm still to this day just very nervous, and like, if I can't like hold hands in public and stuff, like I flinch if like Kevin grabs my hand. I flinch because I'm like, no, I don't. What if someone sees? Like, you know, it's like an instinct of like, oh God, panic. Like, even all these years later, but I'm slowly been like getting to the point where I can be comfortable with that. It's a lot of work, but I'm still like, I'm getting there slowly. Like, I was afraid to say anything on stream for years because, like, what if afraid to get picked on, or like people would find out, and like then my secrets blow, and then oh my god, like I freak out and panic all the time. But it's something I've had to work through over the years. Oh my god, this went from reminiscing on Twitch to a therapy session. This is great. Oh my god. I know. What the hell happened? Proud of you making that product. Well, thank you. Thank you. I did a lot of soul searching over the past, they're being so open and vulnerable. I did a lot of soul searching over the last couple years, and the past like 4 or 5 years have been really hard on me. Because a lot of bad things happened in a short amount of time, and it just kept compounding and compounding, and then I just got super depressed. Just absolutely depressed. I put on so much weight, and now that I'm in my mid-30s, it's going to be really hard to take it off. Kevin's great, though. Kevin loves me exactly how I am, and doesn't expect me to lose weight or anything, because he loves me exactly how I am. But I want to do it for me. I want to lose weight, but then get depressed again, and then I put it back on, and it's just like a slingshot. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to all that stuff, but I've been very depressed. And since I've been with Kevin, he has made me realize that I think that I may have some form of autism because of how I interact with stuff. Like, I'm very, very uncomfortable in social situations. I snap to rage really quickly. So I need to. I can't get into a therapist right now because no one's accepting new patients. But I think that I may have something like that. I haven't been diagnosed officially, but I feel like that may explain a lot of things in my life. You know, how I panic in social situations. Like, I'm very snappy with anger. If someone in chat disagrees with me, it like sticks in my head, and I rage over it for days afterward. I don't know why. Like, that's not normal. Like, if someone in chat says something that I don't agree with or an opinion I don't like, I've been quick to ban many people, and I'm sorry for that. And I've been getting better with that, because it's like a quick, instant rage, and I don't know why that happens. And I've been getting better about not reacting to those feelings and getting better with that. So, like, if you've been banned for disagreeing with me, or, you know, having a counter opinion, I've been very almost childlike about it, and that might be why. But as soon as I can get into a therapist, we're going to explore a lot of things with my life and see, like, what's going on there, because something is not right. Something has never, like, felt all the way right with me, and I can't, like, never really could quite put my finger on what exactly. You were in such a better place than you were 5 years ago. There were some days that were very hard to watch. They said, openly see in your face, your poker face sucks. Well, yes. When I moved to Seattle, there were some things that happened, and I was mistreated in some ways, because confrontation I don't like. I run from it. I can't stand confrontation. If I have to... If I have to confront people, or if I need one of my needs met, it's devastating to me to try to ask someone else and bother them to help me, because like if I need something for myself, I feel guilty and selfish and panicky, and that's why I'm afraid, like, it's hard for me to go to doctors. I feel like I'm bothering them and wasting their time if they're helping me. It's like hard for me to let people help me, because it's hard for me because I feel like I'm bothering them if I'm talking to them, it's so hard to put it into words. It's like this feeling of like, what's happening? Like, oh my God, you described me, get out of my head. I know, it's like, and if I have a doctor's appointment or a scheduled call or a business meeting, my day's ruined until it's over with, because I panic for about, because I have to talk to people. I feel like I'm wasting their time, that I'm like bothering them. It's just like this worry, panic. You feel like my day is ruined until that thing is over. I can't relax because I have a meeting, I have a doctor's appointment, I have to go talk to a person about a car. Like, I just panic, like nerves, like just like, oh my God. I had that exact same issue in therapy, fixed that right up. Took 10 years to find the right therapist though. Yeah, unfortunately, one bad thing about COVID is, one of the many bad things is that so many people were locked up for so long, and then isolated for so long. A lot of depression and mental stuff happened, and so people were all seeking therapists. So every therapist out there is super booked up for a long time, because everyone feels like they need therapy now, because a lot of stuff that we were like hiding or trying not to deal with got like pushed to the surface. It's hard to like ignore that now, and so everyone's seeking therapy, and it's really hard to get anyone to accept new patients. So it's very rough. Unless you're critical, you can get a waiting list for months. Yeah, and that's why there's so many of these online apps things that do therapy, because everyone feels like they need it. And I'm just like, I don't know if I trust an app to randomly match me like a dating service to a therapist without knowing who they are, what their credentials are, that kind of stuff. So I'm afraid to use one of those. I don't know if anyone else has tried those, like, and how much success you've had with it. Or that you like do the apps that match you with a therapist online, and you like talk with them and stuff. I don't know, like, have you guys had any success with that, or like, have you tried that? Where one of those apps? It probably just depends, like, you know, what's going on. Zeke's using BetterHelp, found his therapist there. Oh, nice. As a therapist, tell you that most therapists would be happy to have anyone is willing to give their best towards improvement. Apps are hit and miss. Many real good therapists do that on the side. Yeah. That's what I would worry about, is like, I find a therapist that's really good, pour my heart out to them, and then they can't do it on the side anymore. And then they're going to have to like go find someone else, kind of thing. I'd want someone local that has like an office or something, so like know that they'll be there, not just like disappear one day. Because again, feel like I'm bothering them. It's like I'm wasting their time. Yeah, so sorry, that's another thing. I cannot concentrate anymore. Again, I haven't diagnosed, but I feel like I have ADD because I cannot focus on one thing anymore. When I'm watching TV, I'm on my phone, and sometimes on the iPad, doing 3 things at once. I can't, like, I'm doing so many things at one time. Like, I'll be uploading emotes, streaming, and taking a call. Like, I'm just can't focus on one. I can't just sit there and be there. I have to be doing something, or I'm wasting time. Losing focus, come from depression, or recovering from depression. Have that? Yeah. It's that part is mostly just like so many multitasking at one time. You don't do anything one thing well. You're constantly focusing on anything. Okay, all right, rewind. See, I got off track again. Get off track. Okay, so over the past few years, I've gone downhill a lot, mentally, physically, emotionally. It's been a lot of stuff. It's more like 5-6 years. So, and also my mood when streaming has gone down a lot. There's been days when I'm just not fun to watch because my mood is just not very good. And I've tried to figure out why. And I've done a lot of soul searching. And I felt that, like, I tried to explore like, why, what's going on? Because it's no, like, the viewer count has gone way down over the years because my mood has just plummeted from a lot of social problems outside of streaming and during streaming, because I just, like, I lost my way for a long time, and I forgot why I had fun streaming in the first place. And it happens, you know, because streaming changed for me over the years too. It went from a fun thing I do all the time to a fun thing I do all the time and it's a job, and a fun thing I do all the time, and then it went from a job to it can be fun, but it's mostly a job, and it became work. And then I lost track of, you know, why I was a good streamer, what made me a good streamer. You know, I wouldn't say I was, you know, there are like in 2018 I think was my prime, my peak. But there was a lot of stuff going on outside the stream and the stream that was affecting my mood, and from that point on, it's been a slow downward slope because I lost track of, again, what I enjoy about streaming, what streaming meant to me, and I just became obsessed with numbers. Like, there were days when I would come on and the viewer count would be high and my mood would be high. And then I'd come on and there'd be days when my viewer count was low and my mood would be low. Because I was making the mistake that if the viewer count's low that day, that means you're a bad person. You're a bad streamer. You, as the kids would say, you fell off. And it would really, really, really affect my mood. And it wasn't just like the number. It was so much more was going on with me mentally and stuff that this spiral of depression was just eating away at me, because for the past 5 years, what I would do is wake up, I'd eat food, I'd come in, stream, I'd go home, sit alone on my bed for several hours, fall asleep, wake up, stream, go home, lie in bed, fall asleep for years on end. And that was the most depressing moment in my life, because streaming was literally the only other thing I did besides be depressed. So on days when there'd be days when it wasn't even the stream's fault, I'd just be in a bad mood because I couldn't get out of the mental funk that I was stuck in from 2015 until like a year ago. Just several years of that. That was my life for years. Like, I was out there in Seattle with other people, but I didn't hang out with any of them. I just woke up, streamed, went home, stayed by myself, and just kept that cycle up for years. And it was the most depressed I've ever been in my life. And because, I put on lots of weight, as you can see clearly. And it's just, so this past year I've gone through a lot of changes and try to figure out and try to better my life. Because about 2 years ago, I met Kevin. And we hung out, and you ever just know when you meet someone that, like, they're your perfect double? They're, like, you just know instantly that this person is, like, your other half. Like, the way you talk, the way you interact, like, you can spend... Kevin and I have spent every single day of the past 2.5 years together. Every day. Morning, night, every day. Not tired of each other. We never get sick of each other. We never tire of one another. We have been together every day since I moved here, and we never get any time apart, and we love that. Like, he is the person that... During those 5 years, I thought that I would never find love. I would never find someone to be with because I'm so antisocial. I'm so shy. I'm so isolated. How am I going to ever meet anyone? And when I finally did, thank God, he's helped me over this past couple years. Of course, even before COVID, we were together all the time. Even after, well, COVID's still around, but like when the restrictions started lifting and we could start going out again, we still stay together all the time. That's just, he's my best friend and the love of my life. And my other half. And he just, we just are meant to be, you can just tell that we're meant to be together, always. And he's helped me realize a lot of stuff that's been going wrong with my life. A lot of, like, how I perceive, how obsessed I've been with numbers and stuff. And it's not about the numbers and viewer counts and stuff. It's like, I was just not happy. And I've managed to claw myself out of this hole, this depression sunken hole. And now I am in a house that I own. Well, the bank owns it, but I'm working towards it. I have a car that I own as well, so I can now drive around and be independent. Have a cat. I've always wanted a pet. Never thought I could have one, but now I do. Her name's Tifa. She's special, but she's cute. I have someone to love, and that loves me back, and judges me, and loves me exactly how I am. Doesn't want me to change anything, or needs me to change anything. And then I have learned that I have been obsessing with what I don't have. I have been fixated, focused, laser pointed, and only seeing the things I don't have. When I was streaming over the past 4 years, I would focus on the viewers that weren't here. I would focus on the viewers I don't have. I would think about who was not in chat that day and why they weren't in chat, instead of paying attention to all the lovely people that are here every day. And that was my biggest mistake, and something that I'm trying to fix, and it's a bad habit. And during that part, I was upset at and blaming other people, other streamers for things that aren't their fault. Instead of focusing on myself and my community, I was focusing on what I don't have and what I'm not doing, and wondering why I don't have 10,000 viewers every day anymore. What's wrong with me? Why aren't they here? And I was doing that so much that I wasn't having fun with the games I was streaming. I wasn't being entertaining for you guys in chat. I wasn't being the person that you guys fell in love with when you first found the stream all those years ago. And I have been learning to appreciate everyone that's here. I've been learning to appreciate the opportunity that I have, the stream that I have, and I'm so grateful to all you guys for being there for me for so many years. Because without you, I don't know what I would have. Because 2009 was the lowest point in my life. And I almost gave up. But I found streaming to distract me from how shitty my job was. I flunked out of college. And I didn't have anything going for me at all. And streaming changed all that. And now I have the dream life I never thought I would have, ever. That I never thought I deserved. And I'm so grateful for you. And my mom, who never stopped believing in me. And she's got to see meet Kevin before she passed away last year. And when she passed away last year, it was a wake-up call that I have to live my life now and stop focusing on what I don't have. And she spent her whole life worrying about other people and not about herself. And they could have caught her melanoma early. But she was like me. She wouldn't go to doctors. She wouldn't take care of herself. And I don't want to do that anymore. So I've been trying to take care of me for the first time in my life and become better. A better person. A better streamer. And thank you all for sticking around for all these years and still being there. And don't forget about Prime Gaming. Oh, I'm sorry, bad habits. Oh my god, sorry. Oh, my glasses are fogging up. Hold on, I need a quick drink. I'll be right back in a second. I think this bear is bored the hell of me right here. Woo. Sorry, that was a lot of pent-up emotion to just pour it out at once. So as I was saying, I've been learning to focus on what I love about streaming again. Playing the games I like because I like them. Playing the games to be entertaining. Not following all the checklist of rules you're supposed to do on Twitch. But just having fun. And, of course, you know, trying to earn a little money here and there when I can. But I've been, over the past several months, learning how to appreciate what I do have. Being around for the people that are here. And making this stream and every stream as fun and engaging and welcoming as it could ever be. And I'm tired and I'm done worrying about the things that I don't have. And dreading just looking at the numbers and feeling shame and doubt. And I've learned to have fun again. And thank you all again for just 13 incredible years of Twitch and Justintv. Some of you have been here the whole time. Some of you have been here for last year. Maybe some of you were coming back after a long time because I was not a very entertaining person over the past few years, and I don't blame you. And some of you are brand new and are like, why is this guy crying? And that's fine. And thank you all for being here and giving me a life that I never thought I would ever have. And I can't thank you all enough for just overwhelming me with love and support and just being amazing. You guys are the foundation from which I built my life, and thank you all for being there and supporting everything I've ever done, because you guys are amazing, and I appreciate every one of you for being here. Here's that you started playing Wizardry many years ago. I remember that. Well, thank you. I know. I'm not a perfect person. No one is. I was just gonna say thank you and play the game, but whew, that just became a therapy dump. I appreciate it. Again, I'm just so grateful to everyone, and I forget to show it sometimes, and I'm sorry, and I'm working on that, and I want to fix that. And there are so many people in chat that are subbing, gifting subs, and just so many. Thank you. I appreciate every single one of them. Thank you guys very much. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to go get a hug. and then we'll play some Bear and Breakfast. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.